are you thinking?
Well, you know, there's a lot of native hardwoods in here, so usually recommend big yellow. But for this barn, I'm thinking we gotta go with the green double prong reinforced metal.
How tall?
Oh, she's a good 45 at least.
All right. Oh, it's coming. You got her?
No.
Feel good about it?
No.
Before the guys can put hammer and wrecking bar to this barn, they first have to make some room at their lumberyard. Ezra is going to drive a new load of reclaimed material to a customer in South Carolina. Only problem is his fuel gauge does not work.
All right, so it's 9:30 at night and I'm heading to South Carolina. I'm gonna be driving to South Carolina without a fuel gauge. Basically what I'm gonna do each time I fill up is I'm gonna reset my mile tracker. As long as we don't go over 200 miles, we should be in the safe zone. All right, so Tim, the owner of this fine establishment, and I just finished unloading by hand. So I've got an empty flatbed now. Feels really great to get this off of the Earlville property into the owner's, the buyer's hands. Next week, we're ready to start on Friday, Elias's childhood barn.
This barn comes with an extra bit of history. On the property sat a circle sawmill. This mill was used to manufacture lumber for decades. Some of the wood was left in the barn, and the first thing the guys needed to do was sort through the extra material and decide what to keep and what to burn.
Elias and I didn't even realize how much wood we had on our hands here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of value added
A lot
because
of
of this
value.
bonus wood.
Yeah. Just like that hidden gem.
Sometimes the barn owners request one or two things of sentimental value to be removed from the barn before the deconstruction is done. This time is an antique double wheel hoe cultivator that needs to be salvaged.
You got her?
No.
Feel good about it?
No.
If the guys don't do this correctly, it can leave a sour taste in the owner's mouth and make the rest of the deconstruction process more difficult.
Man, I've heard so much about this guy, but the most I've heard about him is that sweet, sweet cigar smell. Sure enough, pulls up today, a nice big fat cigar in his mouth.
Hadn't talked to Steve since I was probably 7, 8. He used to call me Bones. I'd be running around here doing whatever, and he'd be like, "How we doing, Bones?" What I used to do when I was a kid, it was really weird, but I'd go around and I'd find old deer and cow carcasses that had died, and I'd collect them all, clean them up, and I'd put them in this fort. It was a tree that fell over, and I just put some more like brush around it. So hopefully it's one of our last super cold weekends here. Lift is not starting very well. It's not starting at all. Should be able to get it running here in this afternoon, but for now, we're gonna rip out some floorboards.
The guys decided to drop the hay on the second floor and hope to scrape it off with the telehandler further down the deconstruction process.
Well guys, it finally got warm enough to get the telehandler started at 67 degrees and warm enough.
Finally, the telehandler started. But the guys are too far into the day to be productive with it, so they decided to continue the removal of the upper lofts and the extra wood. Pamela, Elias's mother, heard that the barn was coming down, so she made the trip all the way from Nashville, Tennessee to say her farewells.
Gosh, this farm, first of all, it was the best years of my life with my kids. For the boys, it was a coming of age place for them. We'd go hiking in the woods and They got to bale hay and all the wonderful things that taught them about good work, good hard work, and what it means to live in the land.
All right, so we're moving out these floor joists. We're gonna rip down the walls that make up the stalls in the barn. Call her a day. Come back tomorrow. Do her all over again.
Day one is a wrap. If the guys want to get this done in a timely manner, they have to get that roof off tomorrow.
Day two at the barn has not gone very well. We were waiting for the telehandler to warm up because we plugged it in the morning, and it warmed up, but it won't start. So we're not able to get the roof done today, which is a huge bummer because Elias can only work Fridays. This was a special weekend where he could work Friday and Saturday. So H and I are gonna have to come back on Monday and try to get the roof done, just the two of us, which always makes me a little nervous without Elias there. This is the highest roof we've ever attempted. We're gonna try to do it safely with the telehandler from the ground. It's a 55-foot reach, and I don't think we'll get there. So it's very, very steep on one side. I'm just noticing this wire behind me. I think this wire is doing a lot more work than it should be in holding up this barn. This thing has such a lean to it. There's a lot of reality TV, you know, about blue collar work where everything is life threatening. Oh my gosh, we're gonna die if we don't get this done. But being down here, if something goes wrong, you actually are dead. So it's kind of a humbling thought.
Now on that happy note, the guys wrap up day two with an intact roof and a schedule that is quickly following behind. It's now the following week. Ezra and H have worked hard to remove the roof. Elias is back on the job site, and it's time for the vents to come apart.
You good?
Yeah, check the chainsaw with it.
Well, if you're wondering when to call it a day, it's after Elias drops the chainsaw, like 50 feet.
The beam took it.
What?
The beam took it from me.
Yeah, the beam took it.
Grabbed a tooth of the chain and pulled it right down.
Now with the vents all removed from the barn, all we are left with is a ton of hay and debris on top of a very sketchy hayloft. Elias is going to attempt to use the 55-foot reach of the telehandler to carefully push the hay to one side. This way, the floorboards can be exposed and removed one half at a time. Well, some plans are better than others, and that one was just plain stupid. It looks like the guys are going to have to dig through that debris by hand to get those precious 2x8 oak floor joists.
This barn had quite the lean to it. It couldn't withhold a lot of that pushing and shoving.
H and I were on the floor just previously recording, and I'm glad that we had the presence of mind to get off the floor before Elias was too reckless and just crushed it all in.
Our day just got a lot worse.
We've got a lot of work ahead of us.
It's been a wet spring. This project has experienced delay after delay. The ground is wet and muddy, and the guys can delay no longer. They have a semi-schedule to pick up 10,000 board feet of reclaimed material, and it needs to get loaded rain or shine.
All right, the semi just pulled up, and holy cow, I'm nervous. This is gonna be a mess.
This is the first time the guys are sending lumber to Kentucky. If they can't get this material loaded up, this semi will leave with a partial order, and the customer will not be happy.
All right, second round. I think we got the heaviest load. Time to go back for some more beams. Each time we go through, it's just getting muddier and muddier.
I feel like I'm gonna puke.
Because of how nervous you are?
Yeah. We got stuck the second time through, and that's when I really was about to puke.
Had to set the pile of beams down, use my forks to back myself out, pick up the pile of beams, go forward.
We got through basically all the topsoil, and we ended up just driving on the clay.
The telehandler's getting a little bit overheated, but we got to get this done. Once we get these two, then everything else is closer, and we can stop playing in the mud.
It seems as if he's getting the hang of this thing. Let's see if Ezra can get across one more time. Loading day is synonymous with payday. If the guys can get this semi loaded with 10,000 board feet, they can get paid for 10,000 board feet. Every dollar counts at this point in the year. It's about building momentum for later in the summer.
That was by far the most stressful loading experience so far that we've had.
There were some moments. I about puked. Hey, fastest load yet. So I'd say it's a pretty good day.
Now the 10,000 feet of material is loaded up and headed to its new home. There's only two things left to do: clean up and look for Elias's missing bone fort.
All right, so it's our last day at Elias's childhood barn. We've officially finished carefully destroying it, and I don't think it could have gone better. Actually, I think it could have gone better. We fixed all the ruts that we made on the front side and the back side. Jacob and I, we just finished raking up all four sides, but we left the stones that had fallen down when Elias dropped the entire barn and almost killed H and I.
This barn had quite the lean to it.
Because the owners are gonna take these awesome limestones and they're gonna make some kind of patio with it. Besides all that, we've only got one thing left to do. We gotta go find Elias's bone fort.
This has gotta be where it was.
If you guys ever want to see what a desperate man looks like, it's Elias right now.
When this snow melts, we're gonna find it. We're gonna find the bone fort. It's out there.
I just wouldn't feel right if we didn't go take a look now that the snow's all gone. And you know what? If I don't go and look for it, I'm afraid he might turn into Gollum from like Lord of the Rings. Seriously. What are the odds we find it?
Say slim to none.
There's the tree, that's a marker.
Down there, used to be a mark.
That spot, I remember that spot. I had to get on my hands and knees in the snow without gloves and crawl through there, that's it. Welcome to the Shire, baby. We made it to the Shire. Maybe Elias was right, maybe people are stealing his bones. We gotta find this quick. I believe it's right over there. We're gonna see. We found his bone fort.
This is like a femur bone or something.
Dude, that's like a moose.
There's a skull right there.
Oh!
Coccyx and a pelvis.
Oh, this isn't how I thought this would go, but we've legit found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bones. We were on our way back. You better believe I'm gonna go plant those in the bone fort and text Elias a picture.
Oh, here's a rib.
There's a rib. I found a spinal something.
Your face is in a cow's crotch right now. This is a vertebrae.
All right, let's go get these bones to the bone fort and fulfill Elias's dream so he doesn't become Gollum. This is the key. Elias said specifically, guys.
Guys! It's gonna be a cow skull, I'm almost positive.
It's the cow skull. I'm pretty sure that's a freaking cow skull. My theory is that someone moved his bones around the property and we just stumbled upon them, or we came across a very dead animal. What do you think? It looks good? Looks natural?
Very natural.
Let's get a picture. We'll call Elias. And we're not gonna lie. We're just gonna tell him that we have something to show him. We're gonna show him the picture and just let him come up to his own conclusions. All right, we're pulling up to the place that we are going to meet Elias. And we'll see what he thinks about our makeshift bone fort. He's here, he's in the red truck. Take a look.
Yeah.
So,
What? And you found all this?
we found all the bones.
That's the spot. Dude! That's incredible.
Yeah.
How close was it to where we were?
It was just the tree over. We
My
didn't
mom
really
and I
check-
looked that one day.
Really? Doesn't quite fit.
It used to fit. I used to wear this around my chest. That's how small it
You used to
is.
wear this one?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Dude, I swear.
Oh, yes!
Oh my gosh.
Bones! Bones, baby!
So I'd call this barn a wrap. One of the things about this barn that made it so special was that it was Elias's childhood barn. And I just feel really privileged to be a part of it and to be able to reclaim that specific history for Elias, for my business partner, for my friend, and to be able to do that with him.
It just is, it's a feel-good place. Like, I just was so excited to come up here and get to be on the farm again and see the barn and just all the smells and the sounds and everything about being here is just brings back the best of memories for me. And it's very inspiring. It's an inspiring place for sure.
Yeah, it was just a really cool process to be able to go through this with a barn that, you know, every barn's got a story, but when it's a little more personal, you know, it's fun to be able to salvage some of those things and put it to good use. And now it gets to be in homes all over the country.